Hello and welcome everybody. My name is John Hobby. We have a lot going on here in the hobbyphilic world. Number one, I learned how to make toast. I'm totally kidding. We have Patreon set up because YouTube fan funding is shutting down. So if you'd like to contribute and help out the cause of promoting consumer awareness with poker chips and playing cards, please visit the links below. And if you don't want to visit and you don't want to help, that's fine. Enjoy the video. But I would like you to think about a couple of things. What is your favorite playing card? Brand, make, whatever it is. Particular style. This is a 2015 President's deck made by Bicycle. And you'll see what some of the presidents here when we deal. And I found it here at the end of 2016 on Christmas break. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is brand new at a store. I just totally bought it. I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen these for more than a year. And I have lots of thoughts about that. So we'll dive in here. 2 cards off the top of your deck. Grab 2 physical cards, please. I know people just use their imagination. You can leave a comment. Either way, it's just YouTube, right? There's no prizes here. It's just for fun. That's not looking great. Are those mediocre presidents? I loved that Simpsons song, the We Are the Mediocre Presidents. It was great. Yeah, that could be pretty interesting, or it might just be terrible. Anyway, tell us what you have. So playing cards, you know, they are everywhere. It seems like every brand, look at this, clear Coke ones, M&M branded ones. What do M&Ms have to do with poker? Maybe people use M&Ms instead of poker chips? I don't know. But, you know, see, the paper cards, there's all kinds of playing cards out there. Here's some plastic Bicycle Prestige. It really, when you're not familiar with these, it can be kind of hard to decide. So I picked out my favorite. Now, I only come up with 8 because after those 8, I don't like the rest of them. I wouldn't go out and buy them. And if I wouldn't go out and buy them, I'm not going to put them in a favorites video, okay? So these are just my favorites. And I would expect there will be people that have really good suggestions that I would love. So I'm actually personally interested in reading your comments to see what you would recommend I try as your favorite poker chip. So come up with 3 or 10 or however many you can, but your top 3 really interest me as far as your favorite playing cards. So I have to make an honorable mention here real quick. These are no longer manufactured, but the Del Negro Freedom X, is that right? Does it say Freedom X here? Yeah, Freedom X playing cards. These are PVC, 100% PVC plastic. And I really liked these because the left-handed indexing, you can see right here. So you can hold it left-handed and see what card you have. My buddy's left-handed and it was just fun to play with these. But unfortunately, thanks a lot, they discontinued these. Absolutely lovely though. So that would have been on my list, but you know, I can't acquire it anymore. So what difference does it make? Starting at number 8, we have the Monarchs. Now, these are just a glorified paper card, okay? These feel just like the air cushion Bicycle cards. They have this really rich gold instead of, you know, that security camera yellow. I don't know why they have that bright yellow, but there's probably a reason. Maybe it's just to cut costs. But I love these cards. They're like a Bicycle card turned to 11, right? It's just pretty nice. So this is one of my travel decks. This always goes with me when I take my cards. And the other one, remember how I said the Bicycle Duraflex Prestige were my recommended plastic? I don't know if you guys remember, but I did say that at some point. These are my new recommended. If you're thinking about getting into plastic cards, but you don't want to drop tons of money and you just want to kind of try some out, these are a good bet. They're very average. They don't feel spectacular. They're not super thick. They're not super coarse. They're not super, you know, flexible. They're just normal plastic playing cards. And they feel very similar to gosh, got poker chips everywhere here. So Monarchs are number 8. Ace, authentic 100% plastic, are number 7. Gemaco is number 6. I have a picture of these two next to each other. You can see there's a little color difference. I like the look of the Gemacos a little bit more. That's why they're ranked slightly higher than these. But I like both of these cards. I play with them regularly. Moving right along, coming down to number 5. 8, 7, 6, 5. I always have to double check myself. All right, the design cards. Now, these cards are spectacular to look at, but we're not talking about a museum piece here. We're talking about playing cards. And so for me, playing with unique pips is kind of fun and a novelty, but when it comes down to it, my personal preference are just normal, standard pips. Look how lovely those are. And the faces on the face cards. So, these are absolutely lovely, and I can see how people could easily rate these really highly. But for me, it's just not my thing. Does that make sense? Personal preference, that's all it is. Nothing against the design. Now, coming in at solid number 4, bicycle paper, air cushion finish. What, John? Those are just super cheap. They're just super common. Yeah, kind of like my hands, right? But I love my hands, and I love these bicycles. That's a stupid analogy because it's like anything that's common. But these are something that I buy by the case. I'm not sure case, by the box, right? So these things I go through like crazy, and I love them. And you can see my preferences right here. Poker size, jumbo, easy to see across the table. You don't get people standing up and leaning way over, squinting their eyes, trying to figure out what you have. They got it, right? It's jumbo indexing on a bicycle card, easy to understand. And the nice thing about bicycles is they make interesting decks, like Presidents, like Autumn. Or if you just want the normal fat cherub riding a bicycle, naked fat cherub riding a bicycle, you got that, right? So these have to be, for the price, the quality that you're getting, made in the USA, the classic indexing, how could that not be on my list, right? Now, these last 3, okay, now this is definitely a travel and stay-at-home card. I just have these everywhere, right? So the next 3 are stay-at-home cards, and they're just interchangeable, okay? I kind of have the tiniest little preferences, but for all intents and purposes, I would kind of rate these the same. Copag. They're PVC. I thought you hate PVC. I know a lot about PVC, and it's a minor thing why I don't like PVC. The Copag cards, do the job nicely. Now I know they look like there's 2 black decks there, but there's actually a gold deck and a black deck. So these are nice, and compared to the chem cards, they're pretty thick. They have a nice feel to them, a nice texture. They're more coarse than the Authentic or the Gemacos. So I really enjoy playing with the Copag cards. My preference. And then number 2, again, this is a rock solid set. I have no complaints about this. The Modiano. The Modiano decks are absolutely lovely. Okay, they come with a cut card, super wonderful plastic, cellulose acetate, which I like more than the PVC, which is a little trivial thing, which is why I rated it number 2. No big deal. I don't care. I could play with these all day. I can play with these all day. Something I should mention, the Da Vinci cards, if you look at the cases and everything, the Da Vinci cards are made by Modiano. Okay, these happen to be bridge size cards, and I prefer poker size cards, but I want you to know that the Da Vinci cards, to me, are in the same boat as the Modiano. These are easily, they're the same manufacturer, so I'm going to put them at number 2, okay? So Modiano, how am I going to get all of this stuff on camera? Can I turn these sideways? Is that going to drive people nuts? And finally, the number 1 is no surprise to anybody, Chem playing cards. These are buttery smooth. I love, there's almost like a wood grain texture. I'll see if I can get a picture. And they're just absolutely lovely, super flexible, standard pips, standard easily recognizable faces on it. It's just, you get it. It's the jumbo indexing here. It's just such an iconic, I almost said poker chip, an iconic face card. I absolutely love these. They were acquired here in the last, 10 years by US Playing Card Company. So Chem, in my personal opinion, is number 1. Squeeze them in here a little bit more, push the bicycles out. So that's my list, and if you want to try some of these, I would definitely recommend them. Any one of these. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Please visit us at Patreon, and we will continue to upload on YouTube and Patreon every single month. So thank you so much for your support, and I'm seriously looking forward to reading your comments, seeing if I missed some awesome playing cards out there. Thank you so much for watching. My name is John Hobby.